Greetings to you in the name of our Lord and our Savior Jesus Christ. In my sharing yesterday, I ended up by saying dispose them. And I shared with you a story of how a family had bought a souvenir during their overseas trip. For them, it was something beautiful, beautiful artwork. So they bought and they kept it in their house. Then after some time, they realized that there was something wrong. They were losing the peace. They also felt that they were not fully experiencing the blessings of God. Of course, they did not know what was causing all the problem. So when they shared their problem with me, we prayed. And then God showed what was causing that problem. And when God revealed, the family submitted themselves to what God was telling them to do. They straight away took the item and threw it away. And after some time, they came back and said things are all back to normal. Now, that family, I thank God for the family, was prepared to straight away listen to what God was telling them, and they just threw the whole thing away. But sometimes it can be very challenging. Of course, if it is something cheap, if it is something old, the priest walks in and says, hey, you should not be keeping this in your house, dispose it now. But what if it is an expensive item that you had bought during one of your holidays overseas? Or what if it is something that a friend very close to you or a relation had bought for you? It may carry a lot of sentimental value. Of course, some people will say no. God's blessings are more important than this. So they will just take the whole thing and dispose it. But some people, it can be a great challenge. And some may just decide to keep that item in their house. We have been looking at King Saul. King Saul's visit to the medium of Endor. Now in 1 Samuel 28, we read verse 9. But the woman said to him, surely you know what Saul has done. He has cut off the mediums and spiritists from the land. As I've been saying, when Saul was chosen and appointed as king, there were a lot of beautiful qualities in him. And here we see that he had done a spiritual cleansing. He got rid of the land of mediums and spiritists. Because God was against them. So he just got rid of all mediums and spiritists from the land. But now he was in a desperate situation. He goes in search of a medium. As I was reflecting on Saul's visit to the medium, I realized that he did not submit himself 100% to God. That's something that we have been saying. He did not cleanse his heart. He cleansed the land of mediums and spiritists, but somewhere in his heart, the mediums and spiritists were still very much alive. So now he was in a desperate situation. God was not responding to his prayers. So this spirit of medium and spiritist, they showed up. And now he responded to the voice of this spirit of medium and spiritist. And he responded to those voices. And then he goes and visits this medium. Now, as I was reflecting, I realized there are many Christians like Saul today in the church. They may be Christians, but they have not had a clean cut from their past lives. Sometimes they like to, sometimes they just harbor some of these past beliefs of theirs or some of their sins in their heart. Now let me share with you a couple of passages from the Bible. You turn with me to Genesis 31. Genesis 31, verse 34. Now here, Jacob has left his in-laws' family without informing them. So Jacob's father-in-law pursues Jacob, his wives, and his family. After catching up with Jacob, okay, I read for you. Verse 34. Now Rachel had taken the household gods and put them inside a camel's sandal and was sitting on them. Laban searched through everything in the tent, but found nothing. So Laban said, hey, okay, you have taken my daughters, my children, why did you take my household gods? Jacob said, no, I did not take any of those. Verse 32. I read for you. But if you find anyone who has your gods, he shall not live. In the presence of our relatives, see for yourself whether there is anything of yours here with me, and if so, take it. Now Jacob did not know that Rachel had stolen the gods. Now Jacob was breaking away from his in-laws. So he wanted to start his own family. He wanted to become independent. But then we realized that Rachel had a very strong bond to the gods of the gods that her family had been worshipping. So when Jacob said, "Let us flee," she made sure she also took the gods, the family gods, with her. So she did not have as far as spirituality is concerned, she did not have a clean break. She took the family gods. She stole the family gods and took the gods along. And again, we read in Joshua. It's a very sad, for me, it's a very sad verse. Joshua 24. Now then said Joshua, throw away the foreign gods that are among you, and yield your hearts to the Lord, the God of Israel. Now for 40 years, the people of Israel were wandering in the wilderness. Now this verse implies that all those 40 years They were carrying some foreign gods with them. Which means when they left Egypt, they did not have a clean break. Mostly they carried some of the gods of the Egyptians along with them. And that's one of the reasons why they made the golden calves and worshipped. Because the Egyptians worshipped golden calves. So they did not have a clean break. They did not dispose all these foreign gods. They held on to these foreign gods and secretly worshipped these foreign gods. Now, in the case of Saul, of course, did not worship foreign gods. But as I said, it was there in his heart. He believed in the power of the mediums, the spiritists. And now, in desperation, he quickly, those beliefs took control of him. Now, we must be very careful. Sometimes we may not even be conscious. But we must always go before God and ask Him to reveal to us if there are anything that we are having, any idols. If there's something that we are still keeping that should be disposed. I remember a story of a lady. She was madly in love with a boy. And of course, the parents were not very happy. And the parents just felt that the boy was not suitable for her. And somehow they managed to talk to her, get her out of the relationship, got a friend of them to look for a boy, and then got her married. So she got married. And everything went on well for the first 1-2 years. Then there was some problem. Any family, every family will have some problem. There are no families without any problem. It's a matter of how we deal with the problem or problems. So some problem. She was having some problem with the husband. And during the time as she was clearing a cupboard, she saw there was a letter. And she opened the letter. It was a letter that her boyfriend had sent to her while she was courting him. So she decided to read the letter. Now she had actually forgotten about the relationship that she had with a boyfriend. Now, of course, now it's a new. She said, "No, I'm married." But now this letter rekindled that flame, and she thought, "Let me give him a call." And she managed to trace and give him a call. And then that relationship started to catch fire. And then they started to have a affair. And of course, that actually destroyed a married life. Now, our spiritual life is something like that. Now, when I accept Christ, I must have a clean break. Which means I must say, God, cleanse my heart. Not only my house, cleanse my heart. Now, I personally ministered to a family. After the family had received Christ, I went there and cleansed the house of all the idols and all these photos. Then, one day they said that they are still having problem. They're having some spiritual problem. The man said while his wife was having some problem, at night she can feel someone walking up and down her body. So I went to the house and I prayed for them. And the next day I said, "How? It's a single problem." So I shared that problem that they were having with one of the church member, who actually introduced me to that family. And they said, "No, Farid, they didn't cleanse the house. They didn't give you everything." I said, "What do you mean?" "They've got an idol in the last room." Sure enough, when I went to I visited them again. I said, "Hey, do you have anything in the house?" Initially, they said no. Then eventually they admitted. because it was idol, uh, easily around 3 feet, 2 to 3 feet tall. They did not have the heart to throw that idol. They disposed everything else, but they kept that idol. And I said, no, you cannot do that. And once they got rid of the idol, everything, all the disturbance ceased. Now we must be careful not to keep anything that should be disposed. When we keep those things, things that are to be disposed, they can cause, they can destroy our peace. They can rob us of the blessings of God. It could be some charms. I know of a young girl from Sarawak who was a leader. She was actually a good member and a leader in one of the churches that I served. After some years, she came and said, Padri, I've got something with me I like to dispose. And I asked her, how long have you been keeping this? She said, ever since she came to West Malaysia. I asked her, who gave you? She said, her father went and saw a bobo and gave it to her for protection. Now, when she realized that she doesn't need that protection, because after knowing Christ, she realized God will protect her. So we disposed that thing away. So I'm sharing this with you so that when we will be clean before God. Now, we should not be like a Saul. When we feel that God is not answering our prayers, then we quickly run to different spiritual sources for help. We do that, which means deep down our heart, we have not had a spiritual cleansing. We have not submitted our life 100% to God. A Christian who had submitted herself to God 100% will say, whatever happens, Jesus, you are everything to me. There's a nice Tamil lyric, it's a bit in English. எல்லாம் இயேசுவே எனக்கு எல்லாம் இயேசுவே. In English, Christ is all to me, Jesus Christ is all to me. And that should be our attitude. Christ is all to me. I will hold on to Him whatever happens. And do that, we must have a thorough 100% spiritual cleansing of our heart and of our home. So once again, I want to tell you, if you have anything that you should not be having, dispose them. If you need the assistance of your priest, call the priest and tell him now, can you please say a prayer? And the priest will be more than glad to assist you to dispose and to say a prayer of cleansing for the house. So I want to say this again. You cannot serve two gods. You cannot have items that are detestable to God and also the cross in the house, thinking that God will bless us. Joshua said, get rid. I conclude with this verse. Now then, said Joshua, throw away the foreign gods. Throw away the foreign gods. If you are a convert, then make sure that your mind is clean. Do not keep anything associated with your former faith with you. Do not keep anything for any reason. Throw them away, dispose them, destroy them that are among you, and heal your hearts to the Lord, the God of Israel, and heal your heart completely, 100%, which Saul did not do. Saul did not heal his heart 100% to God. So the choice is always ours. God will not force us to do something against our will. God has given us that choice. We can decide. So you decide for yourself and for your family. God bless you. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.